What's up, everybody? It's Soren Baker here on Unique Access Entertainment. As always, please hit that subscribe button right there. As you know, it's free, and it enables us to keep coming to you guys as often as possible with interviews, with the icons and people that are making the music that we love and cherish. So please, please, please hit that subscribe button right there. Like us, talk about us, be about us. Now, today, we have the honor and the privilege of being joined by one of the icons in rap, one of the most important members of the most important groups in rap history, Grandmaster D from Whodini. Thank you for coming through, sir.
Oh, man, thank you for having me.
Yeah, man, it's really an honor. And just right off the top, we just recently, last week, dealt with the loss of Ecstasy from the group. So I definitely wanted to talk to you about that immediately. So, Grandmaster D, what were you aware that he was not doing well, or what was your knowledge of what was happening?
Not at all.
Okay.
Of anything. Was he suffering from anything, or I didn't know nothing about it.
Okay. And where were you when it happened, and like what was going on? When you found out, I mean.
Man, getting ready to go into a restaurant. Me and my homeboy, we was going into Papados, and I got a phone call by a good friend of mine, and he was crying over the phone. And I was like, "What's wrong? What's going on?" And then he shared the news, and I just stopped, and then tears just started falling, and I was going to the restaurant. Everybody was looking at me like I was crazy, but I had to run to the bathroom,
Yeah. And have you been able to talk to or see Jalil since then?
Yes.
Okay.
I went yesterday and I spoke to him, and he was happy to see me. He said, "What's up, fam?" And we talked briefly, but I guess he wanted to mourn by himself a lot, but I've been checking on him, so wanted to make sure he was all right. I had another few of my friends that went by to check on him too, but he took it really hard, and which me and him took it hard. You be around somebody and you work with them for close to 40 years, it's like a marriage, Another thing, I want to shout Jalil out, man, and stay strong, man. We with you. Everybody's behind you, man. We want to make sure you good. And, we all go through this together, and we going to lay our brother to rest the right way. And we got God behind us, man. And a lot of people showed so much love. I want to thank all the fans that supported Whodini throughout our career, and the ones that came forward and sending their condolences to the group. I want to thank y'all. I want to thank each and every one of y'all with the messages and the posts, with the pictures, man. It means a lot to us, and it means a lot to his family. And then, like I said, we got the post up to GoFundMe. If the dollar could be $2, $5, whatever you can do, it's for the kids now, for later on down the line, man. He got kids, he got grandkids. All right. I love each and every one of y'all, man.
Man, it's unbelievable because, obviously I'm very removed compared to you, but I just, I had no idea. And then my phone just started blowing up because they knew how much I love you guys. So it was crazy. It was crazy.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of amazing memories. And before we get to those, I wanted to, with X in particular, one of the things I know for myself, and then Chuck D in particular, I've talked to about this, but many people loved X's voice in particular. So what was it about his tone and his voice and his style on the mic that made him so special?
It was his deliverance, he pronouncing of his words, and how he could just say one word out his mouth and you gravitate to it. And he was one of the first MCs to come with that voice and take control of the stage like he always did each night, in and out. When you saw us, you heard his voice, you knew it was Whodini. Anytime you heard a record that came on that we were on, you knew it was Whodini because his voice,
Absolutely.
And his style of dressing, You know, matter of fact, all three of our style, but X was the one that started that dressing with the hat, the Zorro hat, the shorts and the boots. You know, at one time I was looking like, man, you going on like that? You going on stage like that? He said, yeah, this is what we gonna do. But it set a trend. You know, Whodini was Whodini. And we had the class in the game. We brought the class to the rap game.
Yeah. Well, what do you remember about the hats in particular? Why did those appeal to him, and then eventually all y'all?
He wanted to be different. He wanted to be different. You know, all the rappers back that came before us or came close to the same time we did, they were all dressed like B-boys. So we wanted to bring that sexiness in, you know, with the gaiters, the shark skin suits, you know, or we can throw a fila suit on one night and we all have a fly fila suit on, or we throw on some Nikes. But one thing about us, when we came on with style, and everybody respected us for that. And couldn't wait for us to get on stage, and you know the women will go crazy, you know, because like they say, born and raised the streets of Brooklyn. It's three of us, and we all good looking. You know, we had that sex appeal. They call us the sex symbols of rap. That was the name they gave us because we were nice looking and we was dressed in fly every time.
Well, I think too, Cool Rock Ski from the Fat Boys had told me this, and I had known this from talking to Jalil and Ecstasy in particular over the years. But you guys, they always told me you guys looked at yourselves more as beyond rap, like we were more competing with R&B or we were competing with rock. So given that 82, 83, 84, rap was still so new and so emerging and it had only been on record for a few years, what gave everybody in the group that mentality that this is bigger than rap? We're trying to get to this bigger thing.
I could say we look at groups that came before us, like the Earth, Wind, and Fire, and you know, like the Manhattans and all the R&B group Temptations and the Four Tops. We look at how they was coming on stage. They was coming on with the sexiness. Teddy Pendergrass, you know, they were dressing right to what the women was going for, and they looked at us with was the classy guys. We didn't come on looking like gangsters and like we want to tear the club up. We came with the sex appeal, and when we hit that stage, you felt the warmness, and we were like R&B friendly, R&B hip hop, but friendly. And you know, we had choruses because back then the raps were just talking about themselves. So when we came, we added new life to rap. You know, the music was original, the chorus was great, and take my hat off to Jalil because he wrote all the incredible songs. And X was the deliverance, and Jalil was so graceful to give X the spotlight. You know, he wrote the rhymes, he could have been the lead, but he passed it to X because he knew X had that voice. And you know, Jalil had the little balance, but we used to always call him an offbeat rapper. But he felt right in there though. You know, we got the little offbeat, but X gonna ride it, you know? But all together, it was a match.
Yeah, I mean, it was definitely magical. No pun intended with the early records, of course. But that was something that always intrigued me, you know, as a little kid and starting to understand how things really worked and stuff. That what going to London and stuff on the self-titled, the first album and doing the singles before the album even came out. Were you going to London too? Was it just Jalil and X?
I was part of the group, but I didn't go then. Back in that year, I was getting ready to get married, so I didn't go then. And then that's when Thomas Dolby did Magic Swan with them in London. And the next one came. I went in '86. I came and that's when I put Funky Beat together with Larry Smith. But we toured in '83 off of the single Magic Wand and Haunted House of Rock. '83, we were touring Europe. We did England, Germany, Belgium, Paris, France, Switzerland, Munich, Frankfurt, Amsterdam, Holland, Berlin. We went around that wall before they tore the wall down.
Wow. That's amazing. So with being that you guys were so big in Europe so early, how do you think that affected and shaped the direction of your guys' career compared to a lot of other artists, rap artists in particular?
I really look at it, the blessing was us doing the tour in Europe first, because, you know, they wanted hip hop. They was loving hip hop. Like being in Germany, we didn't know what they were saying, but they knew what they were singing, the words to the song. And the next thing you know, we felt it was almost like rehearsal. So we said, maybe you could slip up out here, they ain't gonna know. But you know, in the States, by the time you get back to the States, your show better be polished. So being out there doing 2 shows a night in the pubs or Hammerstein Ballroom, and the next thing you know, by the time we was ready to go to the States, after 3.5 months on that tour, we was already good. We was shaped and polished and mold. We was ready to hit the States. We couldn't wait, because the record 5 Minutes of Funk and Friends was already blazing in New York and around the country. So we couldn't wait to get back. But that helped us.
Yeah. Because I always looked at it, you know, I was getting, this is right when I was learning and understanding what rap was really. And I would read, you know, like everybody, I'd read all the credits and try to understand what was going on. And I was like, wait a minute, I thought they were from Brooklyn. Why are they in London recording? And I didn't think rap had even got to Europe. And it was all this stuff. It was it's very interesting. And then later understanding and appreciating how different and unusual that was, I always thought that gave you guys an advantage. So it's interesting to hear how, you know.
You know, Jive Records, they were based in London, and we was distributed by not Zomba, Arista, McClive Davis. So they never pushed rap back then. So they didn't know it was gonna do good, because we the first rap group that they're gonna push. But we did very well. And the thing about recording in London, what I love, because if you recorded in the States, you will have everybody and their mother trying to get in your studio session to hear what you got. And, you know, you might have other rap groups next door in the other room. So if you didn't hurry up and put your record out, they might steal your idea and come out with the same song before you do. So that's why it was better being in London where nobody can reach us. And we have 24-hour lockout when nobody can come in, it's just us. And that was a blessing. And we was ahead of our time with the music, because they was using a Fairlight computer. Nobody was using that in the States. You know, like Devo and Kraftwerk, those type of groups was using that. Connie Planks, you know. So it was incredible.
And then that's you guys also work with Thomas Dolby, the actual Dolby sound, right?
Find Me With Science, you remember that?
Yeah. So did you either directly or indirectly hear or understand the difference of what he was doing musically compared to the rest of the world at the time?
You know, when I saw Thomas Dolby, when like You Blind Me With Science, I was like, this is incredible. It's just like Sting. Sting was incredible. You know, we were touring right behind the group, The Crash. We were touring behind them, Devo, Hall of Notes. So I knew all of them were coming with different sounds. And at that time, Arthur Baker was hot, you know, with Buffalo Girls and all that. And I was like, yo, we got to make a hard beat. We got to make it funky. And the best thing about it, we didn't sample nobody. We was original. So that's what made us stand tall, and to have the dance feel. And the chorus meant a lot in those records, because everybody was singing the hook.
Right. And also, since this, especially with the first album, the self-titled album, what the benefit of the, you know, Magic's Wand and that affiliation, how did you see that was paying dividends to help get you guys popular in New York in particular?
What really helped us go to the next level, we were the first with a rap video, Magic's Wand. And Mr. Magic, may he rest in peace, he was in that video. And, you know, at that time, rappers wasn't getting videos. They didn't have no budget like that. So we came out with the Magic Wand video, and then we came with another song called Rap Machine. And we had a video for that. So we was ahead of the game. And by the time it got to The Freaks Come Out at Night and 5 Minutes and Friends, man, we did a live video. No rappers was doing no live video. We did live in Pittsburgh and Philadelphia. You know, I mean, it was Pittsburgh and Baltimore where The Freaks Come Out at Night. We did the live video. And at that time, only maybe rock groups were doing live videos. So for us to come out with a live video and everybody loved that song, The Freaks Come Out at Night, it was incredible.
Yeah, well, I'm from Maryland. I didn't get to go to those shows. I was a little young, but I do remember Freaks Come Out at Night was like one of the biggest, if not the biggest song in Maryland, man. People love that song. So with Rap Machine too, the interesting thing about the Whodini album is it's so, before we get to Larry Smith, it's so, a lot of it is so much instrumental driven.
Yes.
Which, you know, understanding stuff later I kind of got, but for you guys strategically, what made that kind of okay early on in the game?
Well, I give it to Pete and Nigel out there in London. Like I said, those guys worked with a lot of big groups out there in Europe. So they were coming with that sound, and we was listening. You hear that sound, you's like, wow. And you know, where y'all getting that from? And they kept us ahead of the time. And you know, all we needed was the beat. Once we had that beat pounding and they add the other instruments, everything was good. You know, it was like competing, but Rap Machine took off in Europe first. It didn't really break big in the States, but it was big in Europe.
Be sure to check out The History of Gangster Rap by Soren Baker. He's official.
History of Gangster Rap features exclusive interviews with Ice-T, Snoop Dogg, MC Ren, the D.O.C, and dozens of others. The History of Gangster Rap, a definitive look at how Los Angeles changed rap forever.
In Los Angeles, the streets definitely set the tone of the hip-hop music.
At 19, I got a $50,000 car.
My whole angle always was, I'll be street, but I will always tell you the horrors that go along with this life.
There will be penalties and casualties for just wearing the wrong color in somebody's neighborhood.
And once gangster rap made it from the streets to the TV, the genre exploded.
With Fab 5 on your MTV Best with NWA.
Yo MTV, it just catapulted us from being local heroes to national gangbang rappers.
The History of Gangster Rap discusses it all from 1980 up till today.
It's always gonna be shit happening in the streets. You know what I mean? So it's always gonna be something to talk about.
The History of Gangster Rap in stores now.